There is one extremely overused phrase typically used by conspiracy theory anti-government types, and that is some derivative of waking people up. And I personally cannot stand this phrase. Now, all I can think of is that it's like, 15-year-olds watch The Matrix and they're like, wow, the world is a dream and we're inside a computer and stuff like that. And people take this idea that there's more to the world than most people perceive, which to me is a truism. Well, yeah, there's so much knowledge out there that few people even possess a small fraction of it, and they believe that they have some grandiose theory of the truth, what's really going on. And of course, when I look at a lot of these things and I square what they're trying to say versus what I actually know about, say, economics or government, I find what they say laughable. Nonetheless, I still find this a irritating phrase just because, as a philosophically oriented person, I guess I take after Socrates and the doctrine of Socratic ignorance, which is better to know that you do not know than to think you know and not know. And I'm always curious and fascinated by people who believe that they possess some esoteric truth which they desperately need to spread to the rest of society. Religion, I think it would probably exist on some level or another, but we wouldn't have religions like Christianity, for example, if not for the ability to convince people to be fervent evangelicals. I mean, the phrase or the term evangelical comes from Christianity, that they possess some grandiose truth that they must spread to everybody to wake people up. We got to tell them about the Lord Jesus Christ, or we got to tell them about the New World Order or something like that. Now, my opinion is, I suppose if you were to take everything I know, it does form a picture of the world. I do have a world view, but I am not intellectually arrogant enough to believe that I have the world figured out. And given how much there is to know about the world, nobody really does. When I see a loudmouth, bullhorn-yelling community college dropout like Alex Jones on his radio show, going over complicated government bills and all these disparate pieces of information throughout the news, and thinking that he has figured out the real grand design behind it all. Again, I find all of this just rather laughable. The idea that the world can be simplified into there's the corporations or the government. Of course, corporations are actually numerous, they're a plurality, and they're in competition with each other. Or the government is a group of people who are not all acting of one mind. The idea that businesses can be competing against each other, or that not everybody in government is colluding with one another, or part of some sort of, skull and bones secret society, is just beyond the scope of the scope of thought of conspiracy theorists like Alex Jones and David Icke, or whatever the hell his name is, the shape-shifting lizard guy. It's always a matter of reducing the world to simplifications. There's good and evil, and good God versus bad demons and Lucifer. I personally cannot stand oversimplifications of the world, along with thinking that you have the world figured out. And over and above just the individual points of facts that they try and blast in your face like shotgun pellets of information to overwhelm you, to try and acquiesce to their point of view. Over and above all of that, what irritates me most is the fact that they have the arrogance to think that they have the world figured out when they don't. It's just that simple. Basically, when people want to wake you up and tell you the grandiose theory of reality, your bullshit meter should be going through the roof. Have a nice day.